Glad to have you join us on this edition of the show. The Nigerian fintech industry has witnessed tremendous growth, and it's bound to grow further later this year when the telcos are expected to have come on board the industry. Today on the show, I chat with a fintech founder on his thoughts on the trends of the industry and the prospects for the future. Our tech tips is on multiple ways to charge your device, especially in an emergency. Let's kick off the show with some tech news and updates. This is Tech Trends. I'm Chukwemeka Agbata.
Virtual reality is the most immersive type of reality technology that can convince the human brain it is somewhere it really is not. While the technology has been gaining grounds, it is still expected to develop in coming years. And like other areas affected by VR, educational institutions are also exploring it by taking it into the classroom. Now, if only for a few minutes, students can embark on virtual reality field trips, learning and feeling as if they were really there.
VR headset came as an entertainment stuff initially, but it's now taking root in education. A lot of people are now using it, as a tool to educate students, and it's very, very impressive what kids can learn using the VR headset.
Cherry Brooks Media, a technology outfit in the heart of Lagos, is distributing VR headsets to schools to enhance learning.
Sometime last year, I was outside the country, and I was privileged to see how VR was used in teaching kids how to learn new things, how to learn, about the cell, about space. They were able to visit so many places, without leaving their classrooms, and I was really fascinated. And then I had to go with a friend to a store, and I saw a bunch of VR headsets that was returned. They were returned, by people who purchased them, and they said, well, they don't like it, this is not what they wanted, and there are quite a lot of them. And so I was making inquiries, and the guy said, look, you can take them. I mean, we don't really need them. I said, okay, great, I will take them. And we took quite a few of them. And so we decided to bring them into the country so that, kids can as well learn from them. So it was more like, a well-orchestrated happenstance, if you will. I saw quite a number of them. And then I just felt, look, I saw some kids a few days ago using this VR headset to learn, and I'm here face to face with a bunch of them. Should I just let them go? And so I decided to bring them into the country with me.
David and his team believes the younger generation in the country needs to have this 360-degree experience so that they can be at par with their peers around the world.
When we got in here, we're trying to tell people what a VR headset could do, but a lot of people didn't really understand what we're saying. So we tried to give it out to schools, in some quantities, so that we train them, we show them, you can download videos about, anatomy, you can download videos about how to make robots and all of that, and let these kids experience it in an immersive way, going through the whole hog by themselves without being interrupted, no distraction. That is one thing that the VR headset gives you. It makes a personalized learning, and it immerses the child into the topic, and little by little we started seeing people, picking up interest. Of course, a lot of people were aware of what VR headset could do, but they couldn't access this VR headsets. They couldn't. Some of them were very prohibitive. But we're talking about VR headsets that are just very basic. The mobile phone VR headsets, where you download all this stuff on your mobile phone and you're able to view them.
Just like every other technology, there's the fear of students being distracted from their studies, but David says that will be controlled.
Like every other thing that we have that technology has introduced these days, it depends on the control that is put in place. If you give a kid a phone to use without controlling the access, what the kid goes on to do with the phone, it's going to be a distraction. If you go on to give a kid a tablet without controlling how that kid accesses that tablet and what he uses the tablet for is going to be a distraction. The same applies to the VR headset. If you just leave the child to the VR headset, of course, it's going to be a huge distraction because there's a whole lot of things that the child could do with that VR headset. But it is advised, it's advisable that parents should guide, or teachers should guide kids on how to apply this VR headset. So if done under supervision, it will be a great tool and not a distraction.
It is expected that in the coming years, more schools will embrace the use of virtual reality in the classroom.